Sometimes we're with someone who sounds like they're growing, and we think that if we just hold the line long enough, they'll get there. So we regulate and we ground ourselves and we tell ourselves we're being patient. But if their growth doesn't make you feel safer, if your body still feels tense, depleted, or on edge, then what you're experiencing isn't growth, it's a performance. And when you use nervous system tools to cope with someone else's performance, those tools don't help you heal, they keep you stuck. And that's something I wish more people understood, especially in healing spaces. Because nervous system regulation, when used in the wrong context, can actually keep you in harmful dynamics longer. There was a time in my life when I was doing everything right: breath work, meditation, grounding, long walks, journaling, yoga, tuning into my body, regulating my nervous system, trying to feel safe again. But something felt off. But I couldn't put my finger on it. I told myself I must just be projecting my trauma onto this current situation. Everyone has blind spots. I'm probably overreacting. So I gave the benefit of the doubt again and again. And every time my body tensed, I blamed it on the past. Every time I felt confused or depleted, I treated it like an invitation to do more healing, more grounding, more compassion, more understanding, more self regulation. In somatic healing, there is a practice called pendulation, moving gently between sensations of safety and activation. The idea is to help the body build resilience, to teach your nervous system how to come back to center after stress. But what happens when you're not pendulating between trauma and safety, but between temporary relief and ongoing covert harm? That's what was happening to me. I was living with someone whose behavior felt confusing and destabilizing, but I didn't think it was malicious. I thought he just didn't have the skills. I told myself, he's learning, he's trying, he just doesn't know how to connect yet. I regulated my nervous system so I could hold the space. I used every tool I had to stay calm, patient, and open. But what I didn't realize was that he wasn't learning to become safe. He was getting better at performance, at stealth, at saying the right things just enough to avoid accountability while still doing the very things that kept me in a constant state of depletion and hypervigilance. So I spent the day grounding myself, trying to stabilize, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And then he'd come home from work. And within an hour, my energy would be gone. My body would contract, my mind would spin. I'd feel foggy and tense and unsettled. We'd go around in circles, around his twisted logic, his defensiveness, his subtle digs, and I'd end the night trying to re regulate again just to sleep. I wasn't healing. I was pendulating back into the fire and calling it strength. Over time, I didn't just feel tired, I felt sick. Chronic headaches, neck and shoulder pains, severe arm pain, mouth sores, hormonal symptoms that looked like perimenopause, except I was too young. Medical tests showed nothing, but my body knew, and deep down, so did I. This wasn't just stress. This was my body screaming. Not because I wasn't doing enough healing work, but because I was using the healing work to tolerate what was intolerable. This is the shadow side of wellness that rarely gets named. You can spiritually bypass with somatic tools. You can use regulation to justify staying in situations you were meant to leave. It doesn't always look like good vibes only. Sometimes it looks like a beautiful ritual life. Incense, tapping, therapy speak, moon ceremonies, breath work, or in religious circles, prayer and going to church, reading scriptures, all layered over a foundation of subtle, ongoing betrayal. You can't heal what you're still accommodating. You can't integrate what is still violating you. You can't soothe your nervous system and stay in the fire without consequences. Those tools, when misused, don't empower you, they trap you. Because the more you use them to override your body, the more you lose touch with your inner compass. You start to feel calm around gaslighting. You start to tolerate confusion. You start to feel proud of how much you can endure instead of noticing that you're being eroded. It's no different than diet culture: supplements, workouts, smoothies, all while living on junk food. And then you wonder why you still feel like crap. You can't brush your teeth while eating Oreos and expect your teeth to be clean. You can't breathe your way through a betrayal. You can't meditate your way through manipulation. You can't regulate your way into clarity when the room is full of smoke. The turning point is discernment, not just sensing what your body is saying, but believing it and labeling it correctly. Discernment is what separates healing from self abandonment. It helps you see this isn't a trauma echo, this is the present, and it's not okay. Without discernment, you use healing tools to stay in places you were meant to leave. But with discernment, those same tools become your compass out. Real healing doesn't make you more tolerant of bad behavior, it makes you less tolerant. It doesn't teach you to regulate harder. It helps you design a life that doesn't require constant regulation in the first place. Your tools become maintenance, not survival. Your peace becomes embodied, not performed. And your body no longer has to recover after every conversation. Because when you're with someone who's in integrity, your nervous system doesn't have to work to feel safe. It just is. So, yes, nervous system tools matter, but if you're using them to quiet the truth, to hold your breath through the day, or to survive someone else's emotional unavailability, that's not healing, that's coping. And you deserve more than coping. You deserve to feel safe without effort, clear without explaining, held without having to shrink, loved without having to earn it. That's what integrity feels like in the body, and your body already knows. It's just waiting for you to believe it. If this resonates, if you're realizing you've been using your healing tools to survive instead of reclaim, I made something for you. Download my free discernment guide to learn practical steps to start retraining your body to recognize safety, misattunement, and manipulation in real time. And if you want help integrating it, schedule a free one-on-one session with me. We'll walk through the guide together and practice what it feels like to come back to your own inner clarity. Both links are in the description. You don't have to do this alone, but you do get to do it differently.